everybody. Johnny Moe here with another episode of the Real Estate Agent Community Leaders. And I am super excited to be bringing to you today a friend of mine from Hanover, Pennsylvania with Remax out there who is doing amazing things. Darren Dickensheets. Darren, what is happening, man?
Nothing much, Johnny. Thank you so much for having me on today, brother. I appreciate it. Looking forward to it all week.
Yeah, Darren, you are an inspiration to me. And, you're out there doing the work. And that's what I really wanted to talk to everybody today is, consistency and doing the required work and patience, because it is through those things that you're able to have some level of success, continued success, not just sporadic success, but continued success in our industry. Tell us, how long have you been in the industry?
So I've been in the real estate industry. I got my license back in September of 2019. And so this coming up this year, September, will be 3 years. So about 2.5 years in, and I love it. My only regret with not getting into the industry was why didn't I start sooner?
Absolutely.
Full time for a little over a year. I'm also an auctioneer. I was selling cars and stuff when I first got into it, but committing myself to real estate has been the best decision I've made.
Absolutely. I don't disagree. I loved every minute of my career too. And you get out of it what you put into it. And so you're a relatively still a greenhorn. I mean, there's still so much more that you need to experience. But you've been having some level of success in the community. Talk to us about how important being involved in the community is and how you see that approach as being a positive approach for your business.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you have those business to business relationships, I love doing these videos and doing what we do here with Explore My Town because I get to meet so many different people who own businesses in the community. I get to build that rapport with them. I've gotten to be good friends with a few of them now, just by coming out and doing videos and, business to business referrals. It's powerful stuff, and not only are we helping to promote each other's businesses, but we're also trying to make Hanover, Pennsylvania the greatest place it can be. I mean, I really believe in Hanover. I think Hanover is on the up and up, and I'm excited to see where we go. So
yeah, and that is great. And I do believe what you just said is the epitome of what every real estate agent should be thinking. It's about the community. It should be about making where you live the greatest place to live, because if it's not great, then why do you live there?
Exactly.
You have been doing videos for quite a while with us, and you recently have been having conversations with the chamber and such like that. Explain to us, to the listeners, how that process happened, what's going on with it, and any wins that have come out of it.
Yeah, sure. Absolutely. So I just reached out to the Hanover area Chambers of Commerce one day and told them about, what Explore My Town, what we're doing here, promoting local businesses, and started those connections. And the local Chamber of Commerce, we're actually working together to make it a member benefit of anybody who's in the Hanover area Chamber of Commerce, that if they'd like a video, it's part of the services that I'll come out and we'll shoot a video. So I've gotten to meet and greet a few people that way, and it's really just about building your sphere and just helping as many people as possible. Nothing but good has come out of this thing so far.
That's fantastic to hear. And what you're doing is you had mentioned about increasing your sphere and everything else like that. What you're doing is positioning yourself as the go-to person in the community, in that circle. What people don't understand is the Chamber of Commerce is extremely influential, extremely powerful in each community around the country, and being able to they're commerce leaders, right? Chamber of Commerce, sales, businesses. So the businesses that are in town belong to the Chamber of Commerce. So a real easy way to hack, I call it sphere hacking or networking decoded, is to be able to get into these other people's spheres of influences. And when they're your first level, and their first level is your second level. I'm not going to go any deeper than that because it can get confusing real quick unless you got a whiteboard. But when you can get into their second level because people are seeing you do videos with this trusted business owner. When you're able to tag them, now all of a sudden the algorithm goes crazy and people get to see you. When you have 10, 15, 20, 30 shares on a video, that means you're taking your video, which is basically a digital billboard, and putting it on other highways, and that the app makes the algorithm go crazy. But at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're building your own personal community of high value. Would you agree with that?
Yes, absolutely, 100%. Same thing with making the videos. Sometimes I've had already where somebody would Google a certain business, a video I did in town, and my video is one of the first ones that popped up on Google.
Right.
So they get to learn about the business, and they also get to learn about, they click on my link, they get to see about the real estate market and explore my town, what we all do. So it's cool.
Speaking of finding you, you have an excellent success story you shared with us last month about somebody finding you, and it turned into real business, multiple pieces of business. Go ahead and let us know what happened in this particular
Yeah.
instance.
Yeah, absolutely. I love sharing the story. So I was contacted by a lady who lived down in Florida, and her brother lived here in Hanover, and he had passed away. She was the executrix of the estate, which means she was handling everything. And she researched on Google. This is how she told me she found me. She put real estate agents in Hanover, somehow came across my name on Google. And then when she found my name, she Facebooked me, saw all the videos, we've been doing here, and everything I put out on social media. And then she called me up and said, "Hey, I'd like for you to be my real estate agent," just from being consistent with videos, just consistently putting out content. So I went over and we listed the property. I had a buyer for the property. He was just took a little too much time on it, drug his feet a little too, how this market is, everything goes so quick. Property sold right away. Ended up finding this buyer who was interested in the property, another property, got it under contract, sold his place. So there's three sides just from being consistent with video and putting yourself out there. It's powerful stuff.
That easy. And that video that attracted her still lives on, and it will live on and on and on as the song goes, right? It goes on and on and on. How, before video, before you were doing videos, and now you've branched out. I mean, and that's part of, the Explore My Town philosophy is we want to empower you. We want to help you get the confidence or the knowledge or branch out outside of your comfort zone. You're out there doing TikToks now, and, simple videos where you can take a bunch of videos, stitch them together, put them on TikTok, put them onto Reels. How often are you doing those videos?
Usually I try to put out once a week. So on Tuesdays, I'll have my schedule is I'm trying to get it to TikTok on Tuesday, and then a business video showcase on Thursday. And if for some reason I slip up and I don't get the business video showcase out on Thursday, I'll do another TikTok video on Thursday. So I have myself at least a minimum 2 videos a week. And then, also doing like monthly market updates and, a couple other videos like that I'll sprinkle in as well. But no, at least 2 a week.
How long does it take you to do the TikTok video?
Not very long. Like you can make it like the last one I did. I was really just going out for lunch. And usually when I start the videos, I tell everybody what I was doing, how I ended up there. It's very simple. Like, hey, I was just in the mood for Susie's Mexican Grill. So I went out to Susie's Mexican Grill at the Hanover markets and I got some lunch, and I, do a walk around the video, show everybody what the building looks like, little B-roll footage. So I got lunch and I got to do a voiceover for a great local business owner in town, and get to put that out there.
Right. Listen, I say to people often, all you have to do is tell stories of interesting people, places, and things. And, because people are always like, what do I talk about? What do I talk about? Talk about what you're doing, right? Go out to lunch intentionally, go get a coffee intentionally, go get a juice intentionally, and then make a quick, I guess in the old days, we'd call it vlogging. Make a quick vlog about it, because people want to see this stuff. People are interested in learning about the area, but more so than that is that it allows you to be seen over and over and over again. So when somebody from Florida needs to find a real estate agent in your town, guess who shows up? The one that's been doing all the videos and doing all the work. It doesn't just happen. It doesn't just happen. You got to do the work, and you have to be consistent with it. I know for a fact I'm going to expose you right now.
I'm ready.
Dirty water sells. We're getting into some dirty secrets now. But anyways, you in the beginning struggled with consistency.
I did.
Right. You started and then you waned off, and then there was a month or two that you were donating. We appreciate that. Thank you very much. But you weren't being consistent. What switched to make you go from, because I do believe that everybody jumps in to whatever they're doing. I have been in this business for 20 years, so I've seen it. They jump in with both feet, then they wane off a little bit. But what was the light switch that went off? What was the defining moment where you said, hey, I'm going to be consistent with this? And what caused you to be consistent?
I got tired of being mediocre. I got tired of not doing the best job that I could. Had some stuff going on in life, we all do. You got to find a way to work past some of that. But I really just got the mindset, and I told myself at the beginning of the year, like, I'm just gonna have fun with this, and do the right thing and try to help people. Like, the mission statement, like, I'm here to help, live by that, abide by that. That's kind of been my motto since I got in real estate, and just becoming more comfortable in video and the training, with learning how to make these great videos and tips and tricks. I mean, you guys go a long way and help me with that. Just got tired of being mediocre and just wanted to give them my best shot, and realize not every video is going to be perfect. Like, I'm sometimes like a little bit of a perfectionist, I want everything to be perfect before I post it out there. But, I just do the best job I can. I, try to treat people right, and the product is what the product is. At the end of the day, give them my best, and I'm just going to be consistent. And that's a much better formula than trying to put out one perfect video, because there's no perfect video,
no, nothing.
Anything.
Perfection is a myth. And I will tell you, we've heard comparison is the thief of joy. I do believe that perfection is the thief of consistency, right? Because
that's what happened to me.
You can spend all day long trying to be perfect, where what you need to do is be consistent over and over and over. A couple times a week isn't too difficult to do that.
Yeah, like I was taking a stroll. I was going to a settlement. We had settlement at the Hanover Square last week with the guy who bought the property that missed out. The lady called me from Florida. We were settling on that other buyer's house and then settling on his house. We were doing those settlements in Hanover, and there was a couple people driving up to the square like, hey, what's up there? I love watching your videos. Like,
right?
Yeah, wow.
That's awesome, man. That is local famous right there, right? When people start to notice you. Susan was saying the same thing yesterday when I talked to her. She goes, I walk into restaurants, people are like, hi, Miss Susan, right? And so that is the benefit of the parasocial relationship. That is, and what that is, if people are hearing that for the first time, is when you see somebody online or when you see somebody on TV continually, you start to learn about their mannerisms and things like that. More so, I think, on social media, where you can be authentic, and that's why being authentic is the key. But when they can see you consistently over and over, they start to build almost a bond with you. They learn your mannerisms. They know, like, and trust you. When that trust barrier is down, that's when the sale happens. So the goal is to get people to know, like, and trust you. And when you come from contribution, when you're able to give back in the manner that you give back to, people respond to that, because there's so much negativity out there. There's so much staged stuff. There's so much clickbait, that when you can come and say, hey, listen, I don't want nothing from any of you. I just want to show you this really cool place I had lunch today. Hey, I just want to show you this really cool. One of the videos you did recently was excellent. It was instead of going to a big box store, it was like a home decor place or something like that. That was an amazing video, and people often don't think to go to some of these little local artisan places, and they go to the big box stores and they buy some made in some other country piece of art, hang it up on their wall, and then be proud about it, right? And hey, listen, I'm not judging. I grew up in an art gallery. I got you know what I mean? I'm a little different, right? I got original pieces of artwork hanging and, things like that. But when you're able to connect, instead of going to the big box store, you're able to go and support a local artist, you're supporting so much. And those local artists are, well, they're local, the store's local, right? So what you're doing is keeping about 80% of the money in the community. A big box store, you're keeping about 30% in the community. So that's a real important key. You want to make Hanover the best place to live? How do we make that? By keeping the money in the community. That way the money is spent in the community, and that is what the trickle down is all about. Now,
Absolutely.
tell us about you. Let's talk about some struggles that Darren has. I mean, you're married. You got what, one kid, two kids? How many children do you have?
We have one kid. Me and my wife have one girl. She's 4 years old.
Well, and
Yep.
so being married, having children, still being an auctioneer and doing those types of things, and running a real estate business, there's time stresses, right? Because the
Certainly.
demands of the client, we all know the demands of the client, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't always align with family life and family time. What are some things that you've encountered that a new agent, even though you're still newer, man, you're an old pro at this point, right? You've beat the odds. You're one of the baby turtles that made the ocean. But what are some things that somebody new or older that might be struggling with some level of time management or balance? What's some things that some pieces of advice, a hint or two that you could give somebody that might be facing the same thing?
I've learned that you got to have a schedule, at least for me. Like, you got to have a set schedule. And here's the thing, in real estate, there's no such thing as a set schedule, because like you said, like the needs and demands of the client, sometimes things happen, where like for myself, most of the time, after 6, 7 o'clock, like any day of the week, like that's when I'm with my family. I'm spending that family time. Now, if it's somebody I'm working with, it's a little bit different, but new inquiries, most of the time I try to let them go till the next morning or so. But just trying to have a schedule and set that expectation of what we do, trying to figure out, what does your perfect day look like? You know what I mean? Trying to get that situated. Once you have an idea about what your perfect day looks like, and what your schedule, an ideal schedule looks like for you, you can kind of put those expectations in place and live a happier life. Because, if you just let, the real estate market and your clients dictate what your day looks like every day, your family's not going to be happy. So it is a tough balance. And I think everybody who is married, who has children, and runs multiple businesses has to deal with this. And I just find for myself, having a schedule is a must. Is a must.
It's 100% a must, and stick to it, a disciplined schedule. And inside of that schedule, I'm sure you have time blocking for lead generation, phone calls, follow-ups, and those types of things, right?
100%. Yep. 100%. I try to stick to that schedule every day. And most of the time when I stick to that schedule, and same thing with the videos, the Tuesday and Thursday, I'm thinking about sprinkling one more in there. I'm not sure how I'm going to do that, but I want to start maybe putting out 3 a week. But just figuring out what your day looks like, your perfect day looks like. Just try to stick to it.
That's it. And man, that's awesome advice. And it brings me back. I just had it pop into my head. When I first started training and building a company called More GCI, that was the first real estate tech company that I built. I came up with this set of principles called UPAD, and understand, plan, action, and discipline, and how they overlaid with Michael Gerber's 3 levels of business: the entrepreneur, the manager, and the technician level. And the management part of your business is responsible for understanding and planning, UP. And the technician's level, which is the salesperson's job, was responsible for the action of implementing the plan, and the hardest one of all, which is D, discipline. It's the discipline of sticking to that time block schedule. It's the discipline to, if I didn't do it on Tuesday, I have to do it on Thursday, right? It's that level of discipline which breaks through from being average, mediocre, to being extraordinary, right? So it's really important that we do that. And I just want to just say this. How old are you, Darren? You're young, right?
Yeah, I'm 27.
Okay. So I'm 50. So I'm about double your age. Okay. I could be your dad. Sad to think, because I still feel 27. But as somebody who's 50 that has spent 20 years in this business, and I've sold a crap load of real estate, I've been a bank-owned agent, I've done well. When I left the market center that I was at, they were at number 5 in profitability. I was on the ALC there. That's where More GCI was born. That's where I trained. but I can say this as somebody who has lived it, who has succeeded at it, who has raised children. My children are now 20 and 21. That if you're not disciplined, hell-bent disciplined on time with your family, your children will grow up really fast and you're going to miss a whole bunch of events, and your wife or your husband or your partner is going to come to resent you and your lifestyle, no matter how much you're providing for them. Because it's not always about the money, right? It's about the impact that you're making inside the family. It's about the cohesive unit. It's about enjoying life. And so if you heard what Darren said in there, he's got a great balance between making time for his family and ensuring that that's happening, and being a little bit fluid in the schedule because of the client demands, but being disciplined. And I talked about this, and I'll talk about it probably on every podcast, that there's no safety net in our business, and it creates that angst and anxiety. And if you just wake up and you react or you respond, you're going to always have that fight or flight thing going on, right? It's always going to be the flight going on, which causes the stress, which causes the cortisol and the other negative emotions and things to happen in your hormones to happen in your body. Finding that peace. Every time I talk to you, you're smiling, you're happy. Do you do anything to ensure and protect your positivity and fight against negativity? Do you work out, walk? Do you do yoga? Do you do meditate? Anything like that? What do you do to stay in such a positive mood?
Yeah, so every morning I try to get up around 5:30, and then I head to the gym and work out for about an hour or so. Some days I won't lift. I'll just get out and go for a walk, but just try to get that time every time I wake up. You know what I mean? And in some prayer time, and go to church on Sunday, and just try to live the best life I can live, be the best version of myself as I can possibly be. So that's every morning I try to set that time aside, and then throughout the day is just working, in real estate. And there's the beauty of it. I love what I do now, because if I'm not working with clients, I'm making videos. I'm getting out, I'm meeting people, I'm learning more about our community. Yeah. So just really setting that time aside in the morning, I'd say is huge, just to try to keep that balance, because we all do need a little bit of time for ourselves. At least I know I do, to clear my mind and really think about, what I'm going to do today, where I'm at, how I can better myself, all that. And it's discipline. Like you just said, Johnny, it's discipline. It's the hardest part. If you can get the discipline, you can do anything.
You get the discipline, you can do anything. Yep. I lay in bed every morning until 6:30 saying I should get up and go for a walk. I should get up and go to the gym. I donate to 3 of them. You would think that I would get up and go to them. And those are personal things that I'm crossing with myself, right? And so I think living the best version of yourself, right? I believe it's Matthew Kelly has a book. I'll have to look up the name of it in a second. I'll do that while we're talking. And that's what he talks about, is how to be the best version of yourself. And you always have to be asking that question to yourself. Am I being the best version of myself? Give me 1 second. I'm going to get that for you, because I think it is such a great and profound book. The Rhythm of Life by Matthew Kelly. Living every day with passion and purpose. I've listened to this book probably 6, 7, maybe even more times. And so when you said that, it instantly came to me. What is the name of that? And I think we constantly have to look at that, and not just the best version of yourself, right? Personally, the best version of yourself business wise too, right? We got to take that into consideration. So we can't just put on a hat and a suit, walk out there, be Mr. Chucky salesman because the lights came on, and then, the lights are off of me. I'm just going to drug it up and drink it up and be a buffoon and a degenerate of the community, because people will see that. That will flow over to your character, right? So being the best version of yourself personally, to your spouse, to your partner, to your children, to you the most. You are the number one person in your life. It should be. But then also, being the best version of you can to your God, and be in following that word, and being the best version of yourself to your clients and into your business and to your broker and to your peers. That right there is integrity, right? That is character all the way. And I'd love to hear you say that and talk about that. But check out Matthew Kelly, The Rhythm of Life. It's an amazing book about that. So we're running a little short on time. We got a few more minutes left. What's some advice that you would give to somebody in this business that might be struggling, that might be thinking about getting in or even quitting the business because they've hit that frustration? Because we do have a high failure rate in this business. I hate to even talk about it, but it's upwards to 87%.
Yeah.
You think about it, 13% make it. Out of that 13%, what do they define as making it? Making $50,000. So out of that 13% that make it, there's only a small fraction that make it to top producer or elite agent, but there's a whole bunch of people in there that live great lives. But what is a piece of advice you could give somebody that's starting out in the business or has been in the business? Maybe they switched the market. Maybe they're hitting up a rock wall or something else, like, or a brick wall, because of whatever, because man, last 2 years have been funky, right?
Yeah. I got in right when stuff got crazy. So it was like, it was nuts. But the advice I would give somebody would just be yourself. Like, first and foremost, like, block everything else out for a second. Just be yourself. Try to work on yourself. Try to set that time along the day to try to live, be that best version of yourself, personal life and business. Because I think when I started making the videos, I would get caught up on, like I said, trying to be perfect and not really honing in on what was important. That was being myself, because not everybody's going to like you. You know what I mean? So
that's okay.
You want to be authentic. You want to be yourself, because when you put yourself out there, the people that like you are going to gravitate towards you. You know what I mean? And those are the people you want to be working with. So first and foremost, don't come in and feel like you need to try to be someone you're not. Be yourself. Work hard. Be disciplined. Prospect. When I first got into the business, I knew nothing about prospecting. How to get your name out there in the community. Make videos. Partner with Explore My Town. Cold call. Door knock. Everything works as long as you're consistent with it. I mean, that's consistency is key, and it kind of ties into the discipline.
Everything. My old team leader used to say, everything works and nothing doesn't. Right.
Exactly.
So get out there, start working, do these things, and adjust. If something's not working, you drop it. If something is working, you put more energy into it. And that's what we do, right? That's what we do at Explore My Town. Okay, this way's working. We're going more in, this way's not working. Let's phase that one out, right? And I think business is a continual evolution, and real estate agents need to understand it's just not talked about in this industry. There's a few people that talk about it, and this is why I made some excellent friends in this business, because I do talk about it. Being a real estate agent is being, I'm going to say it this way, and it's Robert Kiyosaki with the quadrant that he has. You can either be an employee, self-employed, a business owner, or an investor. So I'm not passing shade to anybody, but being self-employed, right, is where most real estate agents are. They're 1099, they're self-employed, they stop working, the check stop coming in. That's self-employed. A business owner is the business continues to work in your absence, right? There's people and systems in place to continue to work in your absence. An investor is an investor. We don't need to go into that one, but the IRS doesn't care whether you're self-employed or business, right? It's going to look at it just about the same way. You're not an employee where they're taking the taxes out. And I think more agents need to look at what they're doing as a business, right? Yes, you're at the center. You are the brand and everything else like that. What are you doing to stand out? What are you doing to be different? What are you doing to be authentic so people can get to know, like, and trust you? How are you getting your name out there? And I think those are all excellent pieces that agents really need to consider. I might be self-employed. I might be a business owner. I have these other stresses and things that I need to consider, like paying your taxes, paying your business expenses, and those types of things, because as well as I do, nothing's free in this game, right?
No.
They don't even do broker open houses with free pizza anymore. So they took that away. So I think agents should spend some time understanding what you had just said. Consistency. I believe in relationships over transactions. I believe in impact over income. And when you do enough good work, it all comes back to you tenfold. Would you agree to that?
I would agree. If you help enough people get what they want, they'll certainly help you. I mean, and it's about other people, like you said, Johnny. When you make it about other people first, it will come back to you. You don't need to be out there, doing anything. It's simple. It's not hard stuff.
Right.
The
And
hardest part
Darren,
is just doing it.
right. It's exactly that. And you're in Hanover. How does somebody find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook at Explore My Town, Hanover, PA. You can find me on Darren Dickens Sheets Realtor. On TikTok, Darren Explores Hanover. On Instagram, Darren Dickens Sheets. Or you can just stop into Hanover. I'll take you out to lunch. Show you one of the most iconic places we have here in town. We'll talk about.
And probably make a video about it.
And we'll probably make a video.
So there you have it, guys. Darren is, within 3 years, and the business started right before the pandemic hit and everything else like that. And he's flourishing right now. He's flourishing because he's doing the work. He's flourishing because he doesn't quit. He's flourishing because he has shut off the noise, the criticism from the other people, and he's attracting his tribe. And that's what it's about. You cannot please everybody. There's an old saying out there, if I wanted to please everybody, I'd sell ice cream. And that's even a lie, because there's vegans that don't eat ice cream. So you got to get vegan ice cream, which isn't ice cream anymore. It's because it doesn't have cream in it. And then there's sherbet and these other types of things, right? And diabetics, they can't have it. Oh, we got to put low
intolerant. You name it.
Right? So you can't even please everybody selling ice cream. Please the people that you attract. And that's what being authentic and consistent is all about. If you're looking for an agent in the Hanover area, reach out to Darren. He is top notch. He is a quality person with integrity. And he's the type of agent that I would want working for me. Darren, I want to thank you for being on this episode of the Real Estate Agents Community Leaders. And if you're looking for a group where you can converse with other people like Darren, and where we're talking about giving back to the community and networking and building our sphere, social media and videos, look for the Community Leader group on Facebook. You can look for the Real Estate Agent Community Leaders. Realistically, it's just Facebook/Community Leaders. Come on in and let's have a little bit more higher conversation than all the hatred and anger that's out there in some of these other groups. Darren,
let's connect. Let's help each other.
Let's help each other, man. The more we help and lift each other up, the better it is for everybody else.
Amen to that.
Yep. Yeah, man. Darren, thanks for being here, man. Everybody, I look forward to seeing you on the other side.
Awesome.
Peace.
Thanks, Johnny.
You got it.